you're planning on buying new construction here in St. Johns County, there's a mistake that buyers can make that can potentially cost them tens of thousands of dollars. Most buyers don't realize they've made it until it's too late. You know what it is? It's walking into a model home, into a sales office without their own agent. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, so stay tuned. If you're new here, I am Melissa Anderson. I am with eXp Realty, and I am your Northeast Florida, St. Johns County, new construction, Air Force veteran agent, serving you primarily relocation buyers looking to move down here to St. Johns County, Northeast Florida area. So you are in the right spot. Now, I help families, buyers like you that are relocating here to this area, moving from thousands of miles away, and sometimes even buying a home that you've never even set foot in. It sounds crazy, but it happens. You want to work with someone that you can trust and be your best representative, boots on the ground. New construction is one of the most popular paths to homeownership here, especially for relocation buyers, because you get to pick your lot, your finishes, move into something brand new. And that includes either building from the ground up or moving into one of the new construction quick move-in homes. When I say quick move-in homes, it could be new construction quick move in ready now or something that's ready in the next 3 to 6 months. There is a huge misunderstanding about how this whole process works, and that's what we're going to clarify in this video today. Let's get into it. If you have ever been into a model home, a sales office in a new construction neighborhood, there is a very friendly person that works there. They are a licensed sales agent. They greet you right when you walk in, and they work for the builder. They work for the builder. They represent the builder. They have the builder's best interest in hand. Their job there as the site agent is to protect the builder's best interest, to protect the builder's profit margin, to sell at the builder's price, and steer you towards the builder's preferred lender and title company. Now, I will say, just quick caveat to that, usually if they're giving all of the incentives, paid closing costs, reduced rate, they say, okay, to get all of those things, you have to use our preferred title and lender company. However, it's typically that way, but there are exceptions to that. And this doesn't make the sales agent there dishonest. That is their job. They are working for the builder. They are not representing you. They are not looking out for you. They are looking out for the builder. That's why we're going to talk about this a little bit more thoroughly. That's why it's important for you to have your own representation, that you have your own agent that's there representing you, because they represent someone else, no matter how friendly they are and how it may seem that they are looking out for you. And don't get me wrong, and this sounds so bad for me to say that because I love the sales site agents. I'm always in contact with them. They are sending me information every week about, hey, Melissa, like, this is what we have going on. These are our current incentives. Hey, these are the homes that we have we're ready to move. Here's what we can do on these homes. Here's what all of these things. So my relationship with them is vital because that's how I know what's going on in my market and what's ready to move, what's popping up, what incentives they have. But yeah, they're just going to tell me the incentives from the builder, which is, I need to know that, but they're not letting us know, hey, here's all the other extra things that you can actually ask for too. But here's the thing, like, it's most important for buyers to realize, especially if you're relocating here, and it surprises people in most transactions, the builder pays the agent commission, the buyer agent commission, not you. So I think that's maybe where the confusion has been in the past, is maybe if you're looking at new construction, you're thinking, oh, we're going to save money because we're not going to be paying for a buyer agent commission. You're never paying that buyer agent commission at that new construction. The builder has already factored in that they're paying a buyer agent commission from the get-go. That's already factored into all of those numbers. It doesn't come from your numbers. So it doesn't cost you a thing. It's at all. There's no extra charge for you using your own representation. One thing that's really important, and it got a little hairy during COVID times, like 2020, but you have to have your agent registered with you. A lot of them were like, hey, your agent has to be with you at the first time you visit that sales office. It's gotten a little bit more lenient, but you have to now sometimes too, if you know that you're going to be visiting some new construction sales offices, just let your agent know, and then we can call that sales office ahead of time and register you under ourselves. Hey, we have John and Mary that are going to be visiting. Hey, they are my buyers that I'm working with. Here's my information. Here's their information. You should see them this weekend. That way that they know you're represented, and all of that information has already been passed along. However, if that doesn't happen, which you should try to make that happen, when you get there, they'll ask you, hey, are you working with the agent? Sometimes they won't, because if you don't tell them you're working with the agent, then odds are throughout the process, say you decide to go with them, you're not going to be able to be represented. So they're like, oh, you never registered them, or you never registered your agent with us. You didn't mention. So something to look out for there. So what does a buyer's agent actually do if you're getting new construction? And why are they so helpful to have around and be there to represent you? So the biggest one is going to be negotiation. And whether they like to tell you or not, yes, you can negotiate. You can negotiate on lot premiums, design center features, price, closing cost assistance, sometimes even the timeline. There are so many different things that you can negotiate on. And let me tell you, that site agent, you could probably ask if you know about these things, but that site agent is going to come forth with that information up front. I will say, if you're building from scratch, getting your lot and building brand new like that, you can still get great incentives. I have someone closing probably in October. They're getting, I think, a 4.99 interest rate. They're getting paid closing cost. They got money off their lot premium, and there was a special going on where they got a $60,000 pool included. So that's pretty phenomenal. That's a lot of people are going with new construction, but that's building from the ground up. If they have quick moving homes, like we talked about earlier, where say they're ready now, or they're going to be ready in 3 to 6 months, those builders, those homes are done. They're ready to move them, and I in most cases you can get some phenomenal deals. I haven't ever seen them give incentives over $100,000, but I have definitely seen them give incentives close to that, depending on how quick they want to move that inventory. I've seen some really great deals. Now, every builder is different. So I don't want to blanket this across the board because some are more stringent than others. And it's like, nope, these are prices. And they barely want to negotiate. And others are like, yeah, let's work together. Let's get this done. But I would say for the most part, all of them are willing where you can get negotiate on the interest rate and closing cost and things like that. Also, design center support. So that's another big one. Our design center appointment I'm going to with them is on, I believe, the first week in July. But before this design center appointment, I've already sent them information like, hey, here's what to expect at this design center appointment. Here's what things you should probably pass up on, things that you can save money on later, things that are going to cost you probably 10 times what they're worth, upgrades you probably don't need, upgrades that would be nice to have now, things like that. I will say too, it's pretty standard that whatever you spend at your design center appointment is due then. If you go in and you're saying you're picking $50,000 worth of design center options, upgrades, or whatever, that money is due. It's not, it's due at that design center appointment for you to be able to pay. So keep that in mind too. Also, construction milestone tracking. If I have someone who is building or it's almost close to be done, I'm out there. I'm getting video. If you're out of town, I'm getting videos, I'm getting pictures. If we're doing pre-drywall, if we're doing any type of inspections, I'm there. I'm coordinating that for you, making sure all of that blue tape, all of those things are getting coordinated and done. Those are walkthroughs like frame stage, pre-drywall, and final walkthrough on your behalf. And then, of course, as I just mentioned, third-party inspection. So the builder's absolutely going to do an inspection. They try to make it a little bit difficult. It's not. There's just a lot of paperwork involved for you to get a third-party inspector out. But if you choose not to do a third-party inspection on a new construction, I have you sign a waiver saying that I informed you that you should get that done and you did not do it, because it is definitely in your best interest to do that. We have some of the great builders in this area. They're phenomenal, but it's definitely such a peace of mind to have that third-party inspector out. Because the builder's own inspections, guess what? They represent the builder. They're not representing you. Have your own representation. But yeah, I've had relocation buyers who walked into a model home to the sales office and reached out to me after. Oh yeah, we're going to go with this. We told them you were our agent. We're ready to sign and all. I was like, what? And I'm looking at their paperwork and I was like, did you ask for this? Did you ask for that? No, we didn't know. So that's why it's so important to include your agent right from the get-go so we can help you negotiate all along the whole process and get you the most bang for your buck and protect your best interest. Because again, that side agent, they're protecting the builder's best interest, or even fees. So making sure, hey, are all the fees disclosed? What are the HOA fees? Is there a CDD? What are the CDD fees? Are these things going up? Are there any other fees attributed to this community? These are all things that you need to know upfront that your agent can help you navigate. So if you're relocating right here to Northeast Florida, to St. Johns County, and even thinking about new construction, reach out to me before you tour a single model home, registering with your agent first. protects your ability to have representation at all. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. So I'm going to include a link in my description below. Book a free call. Or you can just reach out to me. My number is there. You can call, text, email. I'd be happy to hear from you, help you walk through this process, or even talk about what this move looks like. And next week, I'm going to cover what to expect at your first design center appointment. It's a video topic I've never done before, so it should be interesting. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And then also throughout this week, I am going to be on Instagram and talking about one of the videos that I'm going to be talking about this week is about the selling and buying time frame fear and how to navigate that when you're living out of state and trying to buy here. We're going to go over some different scenarios that I've personally helped buyers go through to ease that anxiety and fear around, like, how do I navigate this move thousands of miles away when I want to buy a home? So if you're not following me, you can also on Instagram, you can also find my link to my Instagram in the description below. And if you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I will catch you next time.